Welcome back to another episode On a Mission. I'm your host, Dr. Wendy Norfleet with Norfleet Integrated Solutions, and it's my pleasure to have with me a fellow women business owner, entrepreneur, Heather Johnson, and she is the owner and founder of Isla Mae Non-Profit for Women. Welcome, Heather.
Hi, nice to be here.
So, Heather, how did you start this and where did it come from? I have so many questions for you. So first, tell me a little bit about yourself.
Well, I'm a mother of three, all girls. I have a daughter who's in college in Kentucky, one that's here at FSCJ, and then I have a 4-year-old. So my husband have a his, hers, and ours.
His, hers, and ours.
Yes.
Okay.
All girls.
All girls. So he's like a household full of women, right?
He is. And so I've started my logistics company about 10 years ago. So I've been a business owner for over 10 years. And my husband and I have been married for almost 9.
Okay. And so where did this, a lot of us have passions for different causes and everything, but what took that passion even further to start a nonprofit organization?
Well, my husband and I, like I said, I have a 4-year-old. But when we decided to start trying to expand our hours, we had a lot of trouble. We had 3 miscarriages over a 5-year period. And during that time frame, I just felt that there wasn't enough support. Okay. I didn't know who to talk to. I wasn't prepared for some of the trauma that had happened during those miscarriages. And so our last daughter, Isla Mae.
Oh, that's what the name comes from.
Yes. I lost her at 15 weeks. Okay. And so at that point I said, I'm going to do something with this when it's not so hard. She was actually born on my daughter's 15th birthday. Okay. And my daughter at the time, she said, Mom, please don't try to have any more kids. It was just too painful for my daughters as well. And so I said, well, eventually I'm going to do something for women. Well, last year, my mother-in-law was diagnosed with pancreatic cancer.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
And she spent her last it was about 7 months with us. And she lived with us. And one of the few things that she would do as she was going for chemo and she could hardly get out of the house was she would go get her nails done. And just seeing her go through chemo and watching, her fade away and lose her hair. I remember when she bought her wig, she was just beaming, that she
something
had
for
hair.
herself.
Something
right.
for herself.
Right.
So as I'm working with a woman who is an esthetician who had just gone through miscarriage, I'd been walking alongside her for about a month, and we're at coffee one day, and she said, Heather, let me just tell you what happened last night. I was giving a facial, and this woman shared with me that she had just had a miscarriage, and we were able to cry together, and she said, I just needed to feel pampered. And that was it.
That was the light bulb.
That was the spark. It was like, I knew I wanted to do something, but I wasn't sure exactly what.
And then it clicked.
So the woman that I was walking alongside, I said, I'm going to do this. I'm going to start a nonprofit. You want in? You want to be my esthetician and we're going to pamper women together? And she said, I'm in.
Okay. So I know you do spa services, but, kind of elaborate on the services you provide.
Well, currently, the building has been under construction for way longer than I would like to say. And we're still waiting on permits. But when it is open, we will...
It's supposed to be open later this year.
Yes.
You got to speak it into existence.
Yes.
Okay.
I keep saying late summer, but I'm thinking early fall at this point. But it will be hair, nails, facials, and massage.
Okay.
So all of those under one building. And we're excited because we have online support groups going now. So we do just group support, like community support online. And then we also meet in person once a month.
Okay.
And so we're doing candle making in 2 weeks. And so we'll have, some appetizers and drinks and make some candles together.
All right. Make sure you invite me to that one.
Okay.
I will. Okay, good.
I just sent the invite out yesterday, so
Okay.
I'll make sure you're included.
All right. Thank you. And so I guess if someone was, had an ideal, because I think a lot of times people have ideals and they wanted to give back, what advice, if any, would you have for them? I'm just curious.
In terms of our organization specifically?
Or like, if they have an ideal or they want to give back, any advice like to somebody who wants to give back and maybe are on the brink of maybe starting something but don't really know, or they get that thing like you, I want to do something but I don't know what.
Well, I sought a lot of wise counsel. Okay. So
just talk to people.
I definitely sought out women who had started nonprofits. I've met with countless nonprofit founders. How did you work? I've had them send me their bylaws, things like that. I did a lot of research. I met with, initially it was all about just the nonprofit.
Right.
And when I spoke to a woman, she said, Heather, I think you really need to have a for-profit organization that can contribute to your nonprofit.
Correct.
So I'm so glad I took that advice. I mean, it is a lot more work, but
people think, I think people forget sometimes that nonprofits are businesses first and foremost.
Yeah, the money has to come from somewhere.
Right. And if you don't have it, then you go out of business and you can't help the people you want to help. And so you got to keep that in mind. I have to remind my clients of that sometimes. I'm like, okay, this is a business. I know it doesn't feel like it to you, but it is a business.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is having people to support you, and not just support you with the tasks that you need to do and the paperwork and all of that.
The
mental stuff, but financially. I had anticipated this would be a 6-month building process, and it's going to end up being nearly 2 years.
Yeah, I tell people it's usually, triple it. Whatever you think it is, triple it, and you'll probably be safe. But when you think, it's short, usually always are disappointed. And that's unfortunately what drives some people out before they start. They really get started.
Right. And so thankfully I had that passion back in 2019. So it had been a long time coming. So I have not given up yet.
Okay, good.
But there are days.
I think that's for everybody. So I know you don't have the building yet, but where will the building be? You have the location, right?
We have the location.
Okay, where's the location?
Off of University Boulevard West, right off of San Jose. So in between St. Augustine Road.
Okay, that's a nice area. It has a new Starbucks there on the corner, and all. Yeah, that's a good area.
Yeah, that's my neighborhood. My daughter goes to the preschool. I could walk there.
Okay, great.
And so it was awesome to.
So is your website up and everything?
My website for the nonprofit is up.
Okay, so what's the website if people want to find out a little bit more?
It's www.islamae.org.
Okay.
So ISLAMAE.org.
Okay. Thank you so much, and I wish you all the best, and make sure you invite me to your grand opening.
I will.
All right. I will. Thank you so much, Heather.
Thank you, Wendy.
Thank you so much for joining us today and learning about Isla Mae, the nonprofit for women. Please go to norfleetsolutions.com and you can hear this interview and learn more about Heather. And also, we'll see you next time on Buzz TV.